Welcome. In front of me I have the Honor X8c, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device and its specifications. Let's jump straight into it. I'm gonna begin with the price tag for this device, which for every device I would say that's a defining factor if you want to pick it up or not based on what it offers for that price. And here, this is coming at about $250 US. So it's not the cheapest device, specifically from Honor, and let's see if they can actually offer anything decent for this price. There we go, peel that off. And while it's booting up, let's take a look at what we got in the box here. So we got paperwork, Type A to Type C charging cable, and our SIM eject tool, and that's it. So there we go. Now, while it's turning on, let's start with the cameras at the back. So we are looking at what looks to be almost a triple camera setup, but it's double at best. We have a 108 megapixel f1.8 aperture, 24mm wide lens, and then 5 megapixel ultra wide that allows you to record videos up to 1080p at 30 frames. And then as a selfie, this thing is still turning on, there we go. And as a selfie right here, we have a 50 megapixel wide sensor that does also 1080p 30 frames. For 250 bucks, the resolution and frame rate for these videos is just pitiful, I would say. I also want to add that this device has been released in 2025, so it's not like I'm reviewing an outdated phone. So, moving on to the display. The display looks actually pretty nice, with a fairly modern bezels, so they're not like super chunky or anything like that. Aggressively rounded, like this is just stupid like amount of rounding. 6.7 inch display with a 1080 by 2412 pixel resolution, AMOLED display, 120 Hz refresh rate, and a peak brightness of 2800 nits. It also boasts nearly 90% screen to body ratio and a pixel density of about a little bit below 400. So the display right here is actually pretty decent, I would say. Now, if we move over to the internals, we have a 5000 mAh battery powering this phone, which it is relatively slim, and it does have a decent battery size, though still smaller compared to some other devices nowadays coming with like 7500 mAh batteries using the silicone-based battery types, which then allows it to just have a same size of a battery as a physical size, but bigger capacity. So this is still using lithium polymer battery. Now, it also supports a 35 watts of charging speed through a cable, no wireless charging. And I do want to kind of focus on this a little bit more. 35 watts is almost as fast as the most expensive Samsung Galaxies charge at. The, for instance, S25 Ultra charges at 45, just 10 watts faster than this. And that device costs $1,300. So it's honestly like a massive L for Samsung to still be selling devices that charge this slowly when you have what can be described as a almost budget device. It's closer to mid-range phone that charges at roughly almost the same speed as a highest end Samsung. And just to kind of put that out there, there is an Honor X6b. This is an actual budget for $100 and charges at the same speed. So yeah. Now, if we continue on with the internals, we are looking at a Snapdragon 685 processor, and starting with 6 GB of RAM and 128 GB of built-in storage. You can spec it up all the way to half a terabyte with 8 gigs of RAM. So you can actually push this device decently forward with the storage if you need that. Though I want to point out there is no expandable storage. So if you need more than 128 gigs of storage out of the box, you will need to fork out the extra money right away. And additionally, by going with a higher storage model, you're also forced to get more RAM. So the cheapest one will come with 6 but everything else will come with 8 gigs of RAM. So you get to pay more for something that you might not actually want. And anything else that I didn't mention here? Let's talk about the build, because that will be something that you're going to be feeling quite often while holding this device. So we have a plastic build, front, or not front, but back, frame, and the front is glass. Though it's not mentioned what exactly is the glass right here. We also have under display fingerprint sensor, our volume and power button on the right side. At the top we just have microphone, on the left the SIM tray, and there is no expandable storage. And at the bottom we have Type-C, speakers, and another microphone, and that's about it. So not much more to this device. When it comes into the design at the back, it has a plastic design with this kind of weird grid-like pattern. It kind of looks leather-like, but it's plastic, and it's not like super good or anything like that. Just wanted to point that out. On the photos, like on the box itself, it looks also like it has a little bit more depth to it. It's just flat, as you can see, almost. So not much of a selling point right here. Now, so with that, all the info out of the way, I want to point out a kind of a reigning king in terms of phones that will cost you less and offer more. If you are not set on getting an Honor device, there is this brand called Nothing. It's honestly been releasing banger devices, ones that are pretty decent quality. Now, the phone that I'm specifically talking about is going to be the CMF Phone 1. That is more of a budget device. It's called CMF Phone 1, but it's made by Nothing. Nothing usually had a bit more like a mid to almost high-end devices. The CMF lineup is more catering towards budget, and it does look so, as it does have a plastic build, but so does this. And surprisingly and interesting enough, has this approach to user friendliness, where you can unscrew a couple screws and replace the back for different color, and also have accessory add-ons to the back of the device, which is something that no other device has as far as I can tell. And all that costing less, offering you a faster processor. Display-wise, it's also going to be an AMOLED 120Hz refresh rate, with about the same kind of screen size, screen-to-body ratio, and pixel density. But like I said, the processor will be much faster, and the device out of the box I think comes with 8 GB of RAM, but I do need to check as I don't remember. No, 6 or 8 GB, so similar to this. Peak brightness will be lower. Charging speed and battery size is about almost the same. And yeah, in general, it's a fantastic device with a great OS that is on there. It's stylized kind of stock Android. I think that's the best I can explain it. It tries to be relatively stock to what Android is in terms of what it offers, but they did change a lot of the way stock Android looks like, and not in a tacky way. So it does have a acquired taste, I would say, in terms of its look. So I highly recommend checking that device out. Again, CMF Phone 1, as it might just be a much better pick for you. And considering that device was released already some time ago, in July of 2024, it's already not a new device, so you might actually be able to pick it up for even less than like $200. So this was $250. You can get it for less than $200. You're getting a faster device for less. Obviously, not much to think about, I would say, in terms of like what device is better. Anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful and the recommendation as well. And if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.